Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to Jesus in My Dreams Ministries. My name is TJ Coleman. This is an introductory video just to let you guys know a little background about myself and my ministry, what I do, general basic things like that. So, I was born in Richlands, Virginia, which is basically a small coal mining town. And then me and my family eventually moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, where I lived for probably 13 years. And now I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. My career, I work in geotechnical engineering, which is a subfield of civil engineering. And basically what I do is travel from job site to job site. I test different construction materials, concrete, grout, soils, soil aggregate mixtures, and asphalt. And I test the materials themselves both in the field and in a laboratory setting. And then in addition to that, I also inspect actual construction like retaining walls, slabs on grade, utilities, storm drain, water line, sewer line, different types of structural fills for slopes, and house pads, rebar, all that good stuff. So anyway, my background in ministry, I was called at a very young age. I became a Christian in 1988. I was 5 years old. I still remember the exact day. I remember everything. And I grew up in a church. The church I went to was in Abingdon, Virginia. It was called Living Waters Family Church. My pastor was Ed Bowers. I'm not sure if that church is still there, but I know Ed Bowers is on LinkedIn. He's still a pastor. He's been in ministry for a long, long time. But what all started this was when I was about 9 years old, maybe 10. I was no older than 10. Me and my family were in church one Sunday, and I remember the praise and worship music going on. And later, once the pastor began with the sermon, just in the middle of the sermon, he just started looking at me strange. And I'm just a little boy. I'm like 9 or 10. I didn't know what he was doing. I thought it was kind of odd. But he came up to me just smiling. Looked like he saw a ghost. I didn't know what this man was doing, but he came up to me. He asked my parents if he could anoint my forehead with oil and pray for me. And he said, "Terry and Rita," those are my parents. He said, "God has just spoken to me through his Holy Spirit." He said, "God has placed a high calling on your son. Your son is going to preach the gospel." And it's actually written in the book of the old prophet Isaiah in the book of chapter 49, in chapter 49, verse 1 through 2. "The Lord called me before I was born. While I was in my mother's womb, he named me. He made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand, he hid me. He made me a polished arrow. In his quiver, he hid me away." That's from the King James Version. And so I was called as a very young age. I continued in life just like any other normal person. I've backslidden. I've been a lukewarm Christian. But nevertheless, my faith has always been in my God. I've always believed in Jesus. I'm not a perfect Christian by any means, but my faith has remained steadfast and always will. And about 2.5 years ago, I started having these dreams. I don't watch scary movies. A lot of people will say, "Oh, this is from this," or "That's from," watching bad movies or whatever. These people can think what they wish. I had these dreams. I know what I saw. I know what I witnessed in my dreams. And I know that it was from the Holy Spirit. Like I said, they started about 2.5 years ago. The first dream I saw, actually, this is later, after the dreams had started. And this is in reference to my calling. In this dream, I was in the heavens, I was in space. I could see blackness and stars everywhere. On my right, I could see lights just emanating, just twinkling, and I could sense a presence. I could never move my head to the right. I wasn't allowed to. It wouldn't go to the right. I couldn't see what was over there except lights just constantly, just beaming out, and I could feel an enormous presence. Felt like the size of a planet, and I knew, I couldn't see what it was, but I knew it was God Himself. It was the Spirit of the Lord Himself. And I was shown this huge parchment scroll, which looked like a massive monument, except it was like brownish gold, and it had thousands and thousands of names. And as I looked at it, it was written in a foreign language, but I recognized it. And God spoke. And when He spoke, my name was on that board, and it illuminated with a golden light. And I heard the voice of God Himself, and He said, "You are called." And then it moved down to the next column where my name was. And once again, He said, "You are called." And the third time, He moved to the third column, and it said, "My name," which was in some kind of strange language, but for some reason I could interpret what it said. And again, the third time, the Lord said, "You are called." I'll never forget that dream. Never. I woke up, and as I woke up from that dream, I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit. And He said something which at the time I had no idea what it meant. And I rushed, I jumped up, grabbed pencil and paper, and I jotted it down real quick from what I could understand. It sounded like it was in a foreign language. And what He said was, "Arak Shanashak Shanaha." I still don't know what that means, but that's what was said. And yeah, so obviously God has called me. He's called me when I was a little kid, and now I'm adult, I'm 40 years old, and I'm ready to serve the Lord. So this is my ministry, Jesus in My Dreams Ministries. If you'd like to reach out to me, if you have any questions, I can pray for you. You can reach me at christministry15@gmail.com. I'll try to leave a link to the email at the bottom of the video. And yeah, I just want to welcome you, believers and non-believers alike. Lukewarm Christians, everybody. Just if you need help, if you'd like for me to pray for you, I can respond in email, or I can make a video, or at least a short video. So that's it for this introductory video. Stay tuned for my next one, which is going to be a powerful testimony, actually about something that happened today in church. I just got back into another church, haven't been in a couple of years. It's a powerful testimony. I hope it'll reach a lot of believers and non-believers alike, and I hope it will magnify God. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Tune in next time. God bless.